This scene highlights the shocking gap between the grand illusions of the Nazi leadership and the crumbling reality of their industrial capacity, as they built giant planes that they had no fuel to fly and no pilots to spare. The sight of the U-390 landing in the twilight after a long endurance test serves as a powerful image of a dying regime trying to reach across the world to strike an enemy that was already closing in on its borders from every side, making the entire project a tragic waste of life and intellect in the service of a madman's final and impossible wish.
The story moves into the desperate final years of the war, where the Nazi high command began to lose all touch with reality and turn their attention to the Heinkel HE-277, a plane that was essentially a ghost, born from the ruins of failed designs and the constant lies told to Adolf Hitler. Because the Fuhrer had previously forbidden the development of four-engine bombers in favor of smaller dive bombers, the engineers at Heinkel had to develop this massive long-range machine in secret, under the guise of it being a simple upgrade to the ill-fated HE-177, which was famously known as the Flying Coffin because its engines had a terrifying habit of catching fire in mid-air. This scene captures the dark and paranoid atmosphere of the Heinkel design offices, where engineers worked behind locked doors and hidden partitions, terrified that the Gestapo would discover they were building a heavy bomber that Hitler had officially canceled.
One of the most surprising and almost comical details of this project was that the designers had to create two sets of blueprints, one that was fake to show the government inspectors, and one that was real to actually build the aircraft, leading to a confusing web of lies that slowed the production down to a crawl. When Hitler finally realized that Germany desperately needed a heavy bomber to reach America, he was furious to find out that the project was years behind schedule. Yet he still expected a miracle to happen overnight in factories that were being turned to rubble by American B-17s. The HE-277 was designed to carry a massive bomb load and featured a pressurized cabin for the crew, which was an incredibly advanced technology for the time. But the materials needed to seal the cockpit were so scarce that the workers often had to use recycled rubber and industrial glue that gave off toxic fumes, making the test pilots dizzy and sick during their flights.
We see the workers in the underground bunkers struggling to assemble the massive wings by candlelight as the power grids failed, and the sound of Allied explosions echoed through the tunnels like a drumbeat of inevitable defeat. There is a chilling moment where we see the prototype being wheeled out of the hangar for a night test, its four engines coughing and spitting blue flames into the darkness, while the engineers pray that it will not explode on the runway like so many of its predecessors did. The tragedy of the He-277 was that it was a technically superior machine compared to the earlier prototypes, but by the time it was ready to be mass-produced, the German Air Force had no more high-octane fuel left, and the pilots who were supposed to fly it were being sent to the front lines as infantry.